Dear students, let's discuss shortly about whatever we have studied today. Our today's point is properties of substances. Students, we have studied different properties of substances. There are various properties like brittleness, hardness, elasticity, fluidity, density, solubility and transparency. What we have studied in brittleness? I give you an example of a chalk. Have you ever taken a chalk in your hand and tried to break it down into small pieces? How does it break down? Have you taken a brick? Have you tried to break it down into small pieces? The chalk, the brick, these are the things which break down easily into small pieces. For example, a marigold biscuit, a Britannia biscuit, Tiger biscuit also. When you try to break down these things, it breaks down into small pieces very easily. Such like substances are called brittle, and the property holding the brittle substance is called as brittleness. Next comes hardness. Table, laptop, a tub, then stone. These are all hard substances. The substances which do not break down easily into different parts are called a hard substance, and the property is called hardness. Next comes elasticity. An example of a rubber band gives you the brief description of elasticity. When you hold a rubber with the help of your two hands and you try to stretch your hands, the rubber also gets stretched. So that is the substance is elastic. That is the property of elasticity. Fluidity. How is water in its property? If you pour a water on the floor, if you take a glass of water and pour it down on the floor, the water will flow in all its direction. When the water flows in all its direction, it tries to flow in the lower direction. The water does not go in the higher level, but it comes down to the lower level. So such properties are called as fluid things. This property is called as fluidity. All the liquids are fluid. Densities. All substances, all the things present around us have a particular density. What does exactly density mean? A particular thing is made up of different small particles. Okay, so that particles are sometimes closer to each other or sometimes far away from each other. For example, consider a table. The particles present in the table are very much close to each other as compared to air. How are the particles of air? Can you hold air in hand easily? Yes, you can hold air in hand, but can you tell how much amount of air is present in your hand or how many number of particles are present of air in your hand? No. So the density of air is low than the density of a table. This is the density. What is solubility? Sugar, salt, a lemon juice gets easily dissolved into water. That means it is soluble in water. A substance when completely dissolving in another substance, that means it is getting completely mixed with it. After getting mixed in it, you cannot easily remove out. Instead of using the word easily, I can also say that you cannot separate them. Yes, once they are mixed up, you cannot separate them. For example, take an example of a sugar mixed with a glass of water. Once it is completely dissolved into water, can you tell or can you remove that same sugar amount from water? No. So that means it is dissolved into water. This dissolving is also called as solubility. Only when particular substance is getting completely dissolved into that another substance, then that property is called as solubility. Transparency. A plastic, a pen, a glass or an ice cube, these are all transparent. you can see the substance present behind the object. If you take a plastic glass or you take a glass made up of plastic, okay, so that if you hold it in front of you and you keep another object behind it, it will be very easy for you to see the object, whatever is present behind the glass. It may be varying, it may be different in the picture as compared to simply you see with the help of your eye, and you can see little bit different texture from the transparent object. So that property is called as transparency. These are few properties of the substances. Let's move further now. We will discuss now about metals. What exactly are metals? Substances like copper, gold, iron, aluminium are called metals. Metals are found in the form of minerals deep inside the earth. Few properties of metals: malleability, ductility, electrical conductivity are different types of properties of a metal. Let's discuss them. On hammering repeatedly, the wire becomes flat. It forms a thin sheet. Metal can be converted into sheets by hammering. This property of metal is called as a malleability. Children, have you taken a wire? Once you hit the wire so many times repeatedly again and again, that same round shaped wire gets converted to a flat sheet. So that property is called as malleability. Second one, ductility. Metals can be stretched and drawn into wires. The property of metals is called as ductility. Wires simply don't come from the earth's crust. A substance, a metal, is molded in the form of a wire. So when a metal is molded into form of a wire, that property is called as a ductility. Next comes electrical conductivity. Electricity flows through metals. All metals are conductors of electricity to a greater or lesser extent. This property is called the electrical conductivity. This property you experience every day in your daily activities. Whenever you switch fan, whenever you switch your tube light button, that time electrical conductivity is the property which supports these extensions, which supports these activities. Okay. Next one, thermal conductivity. This property is regarding heat. When a piece of metal is heated at one place, the whole of it becomes hot. It shows that metal allows heat to flow through them. This property is called thermal conductivity. Have you experienced ever when your mother cooks in the kitchen, when she keeps a pan or a container or small pan, she keeps on a stove or a burner or on a gas? Then when it gets heated, the complete pan gets heated. So that is thermal conductivity. You give the heat for a metal at one part and the heat travels throughout the body. So that is the thermal conductivity of a metal. Color or a luster. Luster also means color. The second name of luster is color in a common word. Metals have a typical shine or luster. Every metal has a characteristic color by which it can be identified. Yes or no, children? Each and every object has a different color. Gold has a yellowish color, silver has a shiny appearance, whitish color, blue color, red color. Each and every object has its own different color. Next is sonority. Metals produce a ringing sound. This property is called sonority of the metals. Tabla, a guitar, a sitar, santur, these all musical instruments are all behind holding the property of sonority. Thank you.